guys, hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions video. Now I'm going to be doing first impressions of everything I'm using in this video, but mainly what you'll probably mainly be interested in is, if I can pick it up, the Morphe palette, this palette here, which is 35W, which is 35 warm, I'm guessing, so 35 eyeshadows, and they're all warm toned, I guess. I didn't pick the matte one, I was going to, but this one has matte shades and satiny sort of shades in, and they all look so gorgeous, and I've literally just opened it now. So yeah, you get 35 shades and it's amazing. Let me just show you the palette again. This is what it looks like inside. Quite big. And a mirror. And those two like little crappy spongy applicators which we won't use. But yeah, I'm not going to do swatches on my hand because, well, I could do a little bit actually. For example, that is a matte shade and that's just one little swipe, and that is a metallic one. So you can't really see because the focus is bad. But that is so crazy good. That looks like a pigment, like MAC pigment or something. This was like $19 or so. It worked out about £10.60. I bought quite a few bits and shipping was estimated at about £13 I think, and I wasn't charged any more taxes at the door, which is great because that's so crap when you buy something from afar, and you have to pay extra because you sort of, I don't know, you're getting a bargain and then you're not getting a bargain because it's so expensive. But yeah, this palette is so cheap. But let's see what it's like. It's going to use random shades. I'm using like a light, really light brown here, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade. These sort of colours never really are too intense because they're like a lighter shade because they're like for your transition shade, but that is coming out fine. And if you have this palette, you sort of know what colours I'm using. Next to that is like an orangey brown. It's like an orange. It kind of stands out as an orange, but it's kind of like a brown, I think. And I'm using that shade, which is next to the shade I've just used, so you'll know what I mean. Oh, and I've dyed my hair again this morning. It'll only last a few days, but I love it. I wish it would just stay. And I'm not doing anything fancy here because I just want to try the shadows really. So that's that orangey shade on with that other one. Pretty good if you ask me. Because there's so many eyeshadows in this palette, it's so great like if you're going away, because I don't know if you're like me, but you probably are if you're into makeup. You know, like if you go away, you always want to like take more than one palette because, you know, you want so many different shadows with you. Okay, so on the base of the lid, I'm going to use that colour that I swatched, that metallic-y one. In fact, no I'm not. I'm going to go for a more gold metallic because it's a bit lighter. I don't want to be too dark. And I'll see what it looks like with not wetting the brush. Ooh, that's nice. See, even if just some of the eyeshadows in this palette are good, for the price you can't complain at all. It's a big palette. Okay, so is it falling out? It's falling out a little bit on my face. But the pigmentation is beautiful. It's not, like I say, it's falling out a little bit, but no more than any other eyeshadow like with this texture would do really. It's quite creamy. It's not, it doesn't really appear that talky. The matte ones are a little bit more talky. In fact, in this palette, there's matte, metallic, satin. Yeah, ones that look kind of have a little bit more shimmer to them. They're not completely matte, not completely like shimmery or anything. So quite a variety. Okay, so at this corner I'm going to put that colour we first swatched. Well, the metallic one we first swatched. I'm kind of recreating the look I done with the Urban Decay by Spree palette like the other day, with this look actually. So I'll have to look at the difference and see what looks better. That is so, it's so good for the money. That's all I really have to say. It's amazing for the money. What else can you really say apart from it's fab? It is really good. I'm just blending that out a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to pop a little bit under my eye, and I'm going to use like a dark, one of the darker colours. It's like a plummy colour. I'm just going to run that under my lash line and see what that looks like. And this is kind of a matte. Yeah, it is a matte. Like I said, the mattes are a little bit more talky. And you know what? I must say, Miss Jaclyn Hill, you are not good for my bank balance. Everything that she like suggests, I end up thinking, oh, you know what? I have to get it. It's like this, the Morphe brush, the Morphe palette. It's because of her. She loves their eyeshadows, and I was like, if they're good enough for her, they're good enough for me. What I'm gonna do is like a purple in the palette, like a. It's the most obvious purple, okay? It's like a lightish purple. Not light, but it's not a plum. And I'm just going to put that on my brush too, and then run that over top of that, just to sort of change the look a little bit. It looks more purple in real life, I think. Now here's the real test for me, is the highlight shade, because usually I find matte, because the highlight shade in this palette is matte, and sometimes I find white mattes to be quite talky and powdery, so we'll give it a go. It is quite powdery, but then like I say, they all are. I think I prefer a highlight with a bit of shimmer, to be honest, but there isn't one in this palette. Not loads of shimmer, just so it just glistens a bit more. It's not really highlighting the inner corners very much. So yeah, I don't really like that highlight too much. I think next time I use the palette, I'll use my own highlight. I don't really like that. It's alright for the brow bone. It's just you can't see it on the inner corners as much. So yeah, my first impressions of the palette, of the colours I've used so far, apart from the highlight, I love it. It's fab. The lighter shades you go, they seem a little bit more talky. The matte shades are more talky than the more satiny or metallic shades. I think the metallic shades in this palette are my favourite. Should I swatch the black so you can see what the black's like? Because it's always a good one to see. So there is the... Can you see it on my hand? Where is it? Oh yeah. I thought that was my nail. So there is the black. That's quite pretty dark. And then next to it is a shimmery black. And that looks like that. I can't remember. Yeah, the shimmer is quite... Yeah, the shimmer comes out quite a lot actually. So that'll be good for Christmas. Now I'm going to use another product I haven't used before, and it's the NYX Gel Eyeliner and Smudger in, I think, just black. Let me see. Jet black. And I'm just going to wing my eyes out a bit and see what it's like. Quite nice. Feels quite wet. Hopefully it just doesn't smudge everywhere, because it is a liner and smudger. It's applying nicely though. Oh, I like it. I think I've done quite a good job with that actually. It applies really smoothly. Now for mascara, I'm going to use another product I haven't used before, and it's also from NYX, and it is their Doll Eyes mascara, and the wand looks like this. It's got like a little bend in the middle. It sort of goes narrower in the middle and wider at the edges. And I always hate when I first use a new mascara, I always think it's too wet, so I always think that every single mascara I've used has always been better after a few uses. So hopefully I still like this anyway. It's quite nice, like I said, it seems wet because it's new. But I quite like the shape of the wand. I prefer it already. It doesn't even seem as wet now, which is strange. It's nice. The mascara helps you get right into the inner corners, like the shape of the wand. This mascara is quite nice. I think it's fairly cheap as well. I can't remember, but I'll link all the products that I've used in this video in the description bar. I quite like that mascara. It felt a bit wet at first, but I think the result has actually given you that doll-eyed look. They sort of have really separated my eyelashes. So for gloss today, I'm going to use a Gerard Cosmetics one. I love Gerard Cosmetics, as you know, but I haven't used this gloss before, and it's Plum Crazy, and it's this lovely plum colour. That's without dipping in again. How crazy and good is that? Seriously, Gerard Cosmetics, they're like liquid lipsticks, not lip glosses, because they're just so pigmented. And this has the normal texture of a Gerard Cosmetics lip gloss, where it's a bit tacky but not too sticky, not where your lips feel like they're sticking together. I'm not going like that, and it's gloopy. I'm so lucky it hasn't gone on my teeth. So yeah, I hope you like this final look up that I've created with these products that I've never used before. I really hope it was helpful to see the Morphe palette in use. And with the Gerard Cosmetics lip gloss, I have a discount code, and I'll put that in the description bar below. It's just JB Life. But yeah, that's for Gerard Cosmetics and Whitening Lightning. So on any of those websites you can get a good discount with my code. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know that. So yeah, like I said, I'll put everything in the description bar. I hope this was useful, and I'll speak to you soon. I think if doll-like, and it is there. My house phone's ringing now. Oh, there's always something. I'm going to use a Gerard Cosmetics one,